Dear students, I, Mr. Vishal Shah, Assistant Professor, Krishna Institute of Pharmacy, Karad, once again welcome you all to this my YouTube channel. Today in this video I am going to discuss about the practical part of medicinal chemistry 1, that is the synthesis of 4-benzylidene to phenyl oxazole from the glycine. Basically this synthesis involves the two steps. In first video I will be going to tell you the step 1, that is the synthesis of benzoyl glycine, which is also known as the hippuric acid, from the glycine, and in second step we will discuss the synthesis of 4-benzylidene to phenyl oxazole from the benzoyl glycine. So watch my both videos to get rid of this synthesis of 4-benzylidene to phenyl oxazole from the glycine. If you are coming first time to this YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you like the content of this my YouTube channel, please share with your friends and like my videos. So let's start with our first video, that is the synthesis of the benzoyl glycine from the glycine. So in this video first we will discuss what is the chemical reaction involved in the first step. As we know, we are going to carry out the synthesis of hippuric acid, which is also known as the benzoyl glycine, from glycine and benzoyl chloride. Basically it's a benzylation reaction. As we know, if we see the structure of this benzoyl glycine or hippuric acid, this benzoyl glycine is consisting of this amide functional group, which is known as the CONH2, and we know amides are nothing but which are consisting of 1 mole of an organic acid which is linked to the 1 mole of an amine. Now a water molecule must be removed to make a new carbon and nitrogen bond. Means here we have to carry out the formation of the bond between the nitrogen and carbon, and in order to form a bond between nitrogen and carbon, generally we have to remove a water molecule. Here hydroxyl part comes from the COH group, that is the from glycine, while the from benzoyl chloride, or you can say hydrogen, is coming from the amine functional group. This reaction cannot be completed by simple mixing an acid with the amine functional group, so that here it is necessary to convert the acid into a more suitable derivative like the acid chlorides. Because what happens, whatever the carboxylic acids are there, they are not very good living groups, so that acid must be changed, or it must be activated first in to a more reactive, which is reactive group, which is the acid chloride group, and then it becomes as an excellent living group, and then the glycine can be mixed with it and it has a nucleophile instead of a base. In this way this reaction can be performed. So here first the benzoic acid is converted into benzoyl chloride. So here this Cl will react with the one hydrogen atom of the glycine, and there will be formation of amide functional group takes place, and it will be converted into the hippuric acid. So this is the chemical reaction and principle involved in the synthesis of the benzoyl glycine from the glycine. Now let's see the procedure involved in the synthesis. As I told you, this is the step 1 of our synthesis, that is the synthesis of the benzoyl glycine from the glycine. Once again I will repeat, benzoyl glycine is also known as the hippuric acid. The first step, dissolve 5 gram of glycine in a 50 ml of sodium hydroxide. It is the 10% sodium hydroxide solution is used in a 250 ml conical flask. Add 9 ml of benzoyl chloride, it in a many installments. Means at a time we don't have to add in 9 ml of benzoyl chloride. What we have to do, in small portions we have to add, and after adding we have to carry out the vigorous stirring. Also we have to take care while handling the benzoyl chloride, because it is too much corrosive. Then we have to plug the mouth of the conical flask either with the cotton plug or the stopper after each addition of the benzoyl chloride. If we are going to place a glass stopper, then we have to remove after a few seconds, because what happens, this is an exothermic reaction due to which it is necessary to remove the stopper. Then shake vigorously until smell of benzoyl chloride has disappeared. So this is nothing but the our benzylation reaction, where we are going to carry out the addition of the benzoyl chloride to the glycine. Glycine is the amino acid which is consisting of a amino functional group. This reaction is also known as Cotton-Bowman reaction, where the one hydrogen atom of the amines is reacted with the acid chloride and it will be converted into the amide functional group. Now we have to transfer the reaction mixture to 500 ml beaker, and then we have to cool that reaction mixture by adding a few pieces of crushed ice or cold water, then slowly add concentrated hydrochloric acid to make the mixture acidic with stirring. And as soon as we make the mixture acidic, whatever our hippuric acid is there, the hippuric acid will be gets precipitated. Now after that we have to filter the product on a Buckner funnel with suction, wash with water and recrystallize from the carbon tetrachloride. In this way we have to carry out the synthesis of this benzoyl glycine. Now just I request you that you can write down this procedure, so that I will now going to show you how to perform this practical if you were present in your lab with the help of the virtual lab, so that you will understand which are the necessary steps to be performed. So let's start with our experimental section. So here you can see this is your virtual lab, where we have placed the certain chemicals that are required. We have placed the aqueous NaOH, then glycine that is to be required. These are the various glasswares that are required. Here you can see we have placed this RBF. So first point, that we have to take a required quantity of aqueous NaOH. So here you can see we are taking the bottle of the aqueous NaOH. Then with the help of the pipette, we will measure the required quantity of the NaOH and we will transfer it into our RBF or the conical flask. Here you can take either RBF or conical flask, whatever that you require. Further, then also we have to add small amount of the glycine, because here in this way, experiment there is no need to carry out the refluxation, so that conical flask as well as the RBF is sufficient to perform this reaction. With the help of the spatula, we will measure the required quantity of the glycine and we will transfer it into our RBF or the conical flask. Now the next step, what we have to do, that we have to carry out the addition of the benzoyl chloride to this solution. Now here you can see we are taking the benzoyl chloride solution. Generally addition of benzoyl chloride is carried out in the fuming cupboard, and we have to take care while adding benzoyl chloride that we have to add whatever the quantity of the benzoyl chloride in a small parts. So here you can see that we are taking the small amount of benzoyl chloride and we will be going to transfer it into the conical flask. After each addition of benzoyl chloride, we have to carry out the strong or vigorous stirring, and whatever the quantity that we have to add for the benzoyl chloride, we will be going to add it into the parts. So I will not be repeating the same thing, just we have to repeat when we are going to perform this particular practical. Now once we have added the benzoyl chloride in all quantities, then we have to carry out the vigorous stirring, so that what happens, the reaction between glycine and the benzoyl chloride will take place and we will get the hippuric acid that is formed. Now after this, what we have to do, we have to carry out the addition of small amount of crushed ice to this particular beaker. From the beaker to the RBF, here you can see we are going to add the crushed ice or the cold water, and after that, once we have added the cold water, we have to make a mixture acidic with the help of the addition of the sulfuric acid, and as soon as we add the sulfuric acid to this solution, we will get the crystals of the hippuric acid, and we have to carry out the filtration of that hippuric acid crystals. After this, once we got the crystals of the hippuric acid, we have to carry out the recrystallization of the hippuric acid that we have got from the carbon tetrachloride. As we know, for the recrystallization, we are going to select the solvent in such a way that solid is soluble into that solvent when it becomes hot, and it will be insoluble in a cold solvent. So here you can see this RBF is there, in which we have already placed our solid, that is the hippuric acid that we have got, and our solvent, that is the carbon tetrachloride. Now we will start heating. As soon as the solvent becomes hot, whatever the solid contents that are present in the RBF are there, they will be get solubilized, and when this solution is hot, we are going to carry out the filtration as such, so that whatever the hippuric acid is there, that will be filtered and it will transferred to this particular beaker, and when the solution becomes cool, it will be again gets precipitated. In this way we can carry out the synthesis of the hippuric acid from the glycine. Once we got the product, next step we have to carry out the drying of the product and determination of the melting point. With the help of the Thales tube, we can determine the melting point of that particular compound, and we can report. Now next part is calculations. Here you can see this is the structure of the glycine. From glycine we have synthesized the benzoyl glycine. That benzoyl glycine is nothing but the hippuric acid. Now as we know, for calculation of the theoretical yield, we have to first convert our structural formula into the molecular formula. So molecular formula of glycine is C2 H5O2N, and when we convert it into the molecular weight, it becomes 75. This is the molecular formula for the benzoyl glycine, that is the C9H11O2N, and when we convert it into the molecular formula, molecular weight, it becomes 179. Now suppose we have, what is the meaning of this? If we take 75 gram of glycine, it will be converted into 179 gram of the benzoyl glycine. Now suppose we have taken 1 gram of the benzoyl this glycine, so that how much amount of benzoyl glycine we should get? So X is equal to 175 into 1 divided by 75. By cross multiplication we can measure the value of the X, which is equal to 2.38 gram. So this will be our theoretical yield. Theoretical yield is 2.38 gram. Now suppose by performing the practical, we will get the product and the weight of that product is 2.1 gram. So that will be our practical yield. Practical yield is nothing but the yield that we have obtained after performing the practical. Then percentage yield. Practical yield is calculated by using formula practical yield divided by theoretical yield into the 100. So 2.1 divided by 2.38 into 100, that is equal to 88% weight by weight. Now the result can be tabulated in the form of theoretical yield is equal to 2.38 gram, practical yield 2.1 gram, then percentage yield is equal to 88% weight by weight, and melting point is equal to 186 degree Celsius. So this is about how we can perform the synthesis of the hippuric acid from the benzoyl glycine. Remember that we have done only step 1 here in the synthesis of 4-benzylenediene 2-phenyl oxazole 5-1. Now second step I will be going to discuss in the next video. So you can watch the next video also to get a better understanding of how to carry out the synthesis of 4-benzylenediene 2-phenyl oxazole 5-1 from the glycine. So thank you very much. If you are coming first time to this my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.